be slightly different. But attack, we have the rest of the world side attacking first on Empyrean sands. So we're going to jump to that side of the screen now. Rest of the world versus Turkey. Match 1. We've already seen France take the first win of the day with a 3-1 win. And we're looking to see who's going to be the strongest of these two. Turkey, a very solid side.
And there it is. The Palace Guards. 3 mastered Palace Guards. From it's Turkey, right? Yeah.
On the defending side, yeah.
Yeah. So 4 mastered Palace Guards. So that,
Palace Guards on both sides, yeah. So 2 of which on the attacking sides don't even have the masters. So
I think it depends where you have them in your unit selection. It's a bug, visual bug.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I noticed when they switch which if they're selected, it doesn't show them as masters sometimes. But if they're in their if they're in their camp or whatever, the other 2 backup options, then it shows them as mastered.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Thanks, Boobie.
Yeah, I seen 2 doing it at one point on the attack side, and all of a sudden I just seen 1, so I was like, maybe not then. But yeah,
I know. I was noticing that last game with the Impike, so
an interesting bug that I never known about.
Yep.
People speaking about people jumping on the stairwells at one point on the last match, but I don't know.
I like that Turkey bringing a bunch of jabs. That's necessary.
Yeah, jabs have been very good on this map. We've seen that on the attack and on the defense working quite well. Is it imp jabs that they've got though, or have they brought the jab sergeants?
They got jab sergeants.
Imp jabs.
I don't think you bring imp jabs generally for competitive.
See, I feel like I've been doing definitely better with the imp jabs more recently than I have been doing the javelin sergeants, which is interesting. But
yeah, I actually think with the ISG's band, you probably could bring a unit of mastered imp jabs as your insta kills blob. It's very strong against players.
Yeah, imp jabs ridiculous against it. Like I used to always use javelin sergeants. That was always my go-to. I could never get any kills with imp jabs because I never ever used like hero classes that would pin people and do all that and knock people down enough to get the shots off. Or if I did, I'd knock them down, but the shot would never fire or I'd push the wrong button. I'm just useless. I'm not as skilled as some of these players that we were watching here in the battle. But
I have noticed the mastered imp jabs do hit. If you've got them fully stacked up, they do hit almost as hard as imp jabs now. I think I hit a 10,000 damage crit with the jab sergeant.
So my orange said somebody bought a banned unit. We need rematch, but I don't see a banned unit.
How can you bring a banned unit?
Yeah, exactly. The only one that's banned that you can't ban is Orochi, but I don't see Orochi in this on their setup.
Is Orochi banned?
Orochi. Yeah, Orochi is banned, but you can't ban it in the ban selection.
Yeah.
But I don't. Instinct's brought one. Sorry, he's got Orochi out, and he's
okay, but he just can't bring it out. You don't need it's not a restart. That's not that's not the rule. He's got to pay attention to
that.
Your own
means
bands.
that they're 1 down at this point in time.
Yeah, they're down.
That's their own team that's saying, "Oh, it needs to be restarted. We're banned."
Sorry, buddies.
Orochi can easily kill every cav and such damage, but they easily kill palace guards. That they kill easily palace guards. Ah, okay.
But you banned the unit and then brought it. That's so funny.
Yeah, Kagan wasn't paying attention to his unit selections, obviously.
Yeah. You can make your warbands before the games, guys. Pretty sure it uses your default warband.
Yeah, it will do, yeah. If you set it up, it should just always use your default unless you've pre-selecting it and changing it between battles, but you should kind of have an idea what you're going to plan and what your units were planned beforehand. So I assume they go through that quite a lot. I know a lot of the time, especially with their scrims and their practices beforehand, they kind of have an idea of what units they're going to be bringing and what they prefer to play. So, but it just means that just a tier 5 unit down on the attack. Sadly, sadly,
tough.
could have been something very nice as well. That could be very viable, but
He's gonna have to protect those Icalian with his life now.
You got Palace Guards of Prophetic up on top of the walls here now, but nobody's really doing anything here, not pressuring anything yet. Not making any sudden movements in any direction. Or the weird thing is the attackers do have 2 sets of cav out already, but they've not got any breach down or any wall down, just to kind of use them as a push.
But breach.
Oh, and most of the treb will actually hit the wrong part of the wall as well, which is interesting.
Ouch. That's a time killer.
Yeah. It's a waste of a treb, I feel. Like, you just on this map, you normally get to home, and trebs on home can be so devastating.
I think that's pretty useful for like you're getting your cav in later, but yeah, that's why they're having the muskets just shoot it down. It'll take them a little while. That makes sense.
Have they not got culverins outside there anyway on this map?
Honestly, I was not watching because usually you can't kill all of them as a defender, but it looks like the defenders actually killed all the culverins.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's still a culverin back there that I could see. This is why I was a bit confused at what's going on, but however they did it and did a good job of clearing up the artillery for the defenders, definitely.
Yeah, I actually think that culverin back there does hit the wall. Yeah, they could have culverined it, but
yeah, just did a couple of trebs.
They got it figured out.
And the musket player eventually.
Someone jumping down to open the gate. Looks like gate's already open.
Yeah, I think the gate got damaged.
You see 2 Reapers sitting outside the gate, so I think they're going to go for an X or A push, not the supply.
I think they start making their way down towards the supply point, by the looks of it. The heroes are going that way. One of them's going towards the gateway to make it maybe bait as if they're going the gateway, because they're just the heroes without units.
I think they're baiting because they left those Reapers in gate.
Yep. Reapers are coming through though towards A point. Here, yep. 2 sets of them. Sinvoid, Kagan. Start to cap already as well.
Oh, he's so dead.
And a Reaper charge straight into an IPG though. Is the IPG going to march? No, it doesn't. It was delayed a little bit, but the javelins will start to throw, and the Palace Guards are braced as well on point.
Attackers are already down
with a cav. Daggerax meeting Daggerax here at this point in time down the stairwell, but nothing happening there. Traves falls to his death. No trick also dying here.
I think defenders just win this because they're up a person. And if they lose this, then that's pretty.
That's a very quick push, though. I was not expecting anything to be like that quick, literally straight onto the point and away. Here we go. But the attacking side are capping A because the units aren't at the point or on the point at the point, so they're halfway up. But defenders look like they have the units advantage here on the point, and the Palace Guards are coming in from Lou and Liqueur as well. Well, they pick off a few heroes here.
Yeah, Instinct immediately suicided and then V'd his Reapers in, looks like. So he died immediately, lost his unit immediately, and now he's down to 1 unit the rest of the game.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be rough.
Oh, yeah, because he's the one with the...
Yep. Yeah, that was exactly what he did not want to do.
Well, where's Synectic picked up? But that's obviously delayed on the terms of the screen, but... I think the Rochi, the only wishes from the defenders are still running outside there to deal some damage, but not picking up much of the heroes. So they're down to 464 units, but really if you take away the Rochi, you're down to about 430 units, is it? Around about. For the attackers. And to be honest, I'm surprised, because the rest of the world, I thought they would have to be, it was a very quick push. Like, I was not expecting it straight on fight, straight on to A so quickly, but...
Yeah, last week they really took their time.
Yeah, there was a fight on the supply. They kind of worked their way in through the gateways and then eventually pushed onto A. But they're halfway capped A almost from the first push. But
they didn't even bring Shenji. Why did they save them?
maybe they know the French side, the Turkish side might use them. Maybe that's
trying to bamboozle. Well, they saved them though. The rest of the world saved them.
Oh yeah, maybe.
And they didn't bring them.
Think about their strategy.
Trying to bamboozle them, I guess. Bamboozled me.
Or maybe they didn't want to ban any other good units, so they just banned that. I would like save that one, so they could just.
I guess.
Don't need to save anything; it's already saved. I guess if they were the last choice.
Maybe they wanted Turkey to play them.
Maybe.
Because this is the place where I think if you have Shenji, you're actually a really strong spot. Because
it's a great position. This one.
You have high ground. You can throw over the buildings, blow up those Icalian. you don't even have to take the supply here if you have Shenji, because you can throw over the wall, insta-kill the defenders like Alien, and then it's free.
So they've got the supply point, and they're starting to move. Yeah, the supply is free here, anyway, and they're going to move, but the defenders could have just used it, though. They've got to bait it, and now they've got the...
This spot is kind of nice to attack. You don't have to fight 2 fronts at most, but
they do have the Zykelia militia on the attackers.
Really premature walk. I think the attackers are really disorganized. They lost the unit of impact. Nothing.
Onomusha's coming into the background here as well.
Those the impacts on the back are...
Oh, they're going to get calf charge. Are they going to get the impact? Oh, the impact march is ready. And there we go. The impact march stops the calf charge, though. But their units are all destroyed on the supply point. They've been literally wiped here from Turkey on the point. Heroes are all dying as well at this point.
You do not want... I mean, that's like feels like a rookie mistake to me. You never want to fight walking down the stairs. You fight going upstairs, and you fight on flat ground. You never want to fight going down the stairs, because a lot of your attacks will miss.
There's the last calf charge. So they're actually going to cap Ailey here, though, with like 4 heroes on the point, trying to stop all the heroes to try and get that A point. But
I think Sexy
Q will be a Turkish defender. Sexy Q does die to his death, but then the rest of the units in supply are coming in to help. William Liqueur is the first one there, and there's 4 or 5 heroes coming in now with units also to stop that cap. Literally a second off the cap there as well. That was so close for them. It was kind of a bait, but they've only got 270 units. Not even that, 230 units because of Orochi.
That Orochi mistake is going to be brutal now, because they are down a person essentially in this next fight.
Do you reckon Turkey just leave and give them the point, or do they reckon they just be like, "No, we can end this here"?
I don't think there's a reason to at this point.
You could end it on A and get this win here. Turkey's definitely
they're so ahead. They're so ahead. You just force them to fight right on that point. And this is that time when the attackers might make that mistake of valuing the point over valuing winning the game. And if you go and get greedy to cap that point, then you could make a mistake.
So Kagan gets his last unit to use, and it's going to be his village pikes.
So many Reapers, and the Reapers are great when the ISGs are banned. And people start pulling out the Palace Guards. Reapers destroy Palace Guards.
Yeah. There we go. This is the last push here, because definitely after this, it'll be it. But Turkey have such a unit selection here. They've got plenty of time here. It's only 2 minutes to defend. And the attackers definitely need to have this, or that's that. But they've got very few units. They can't be wasting them on this push as well. If they're going to win it, they have to dominate the point.
No useless shields. These impikes are going to be huge by the defenders, walking the entire team here.
Oh, that is a solid watch, followed by an Iron Reaper's charge as well. 2 Iron Reaper charges coming in. Sinvoid Falsi's dev. There we go. It's a hat trick from Sexy Kebab. They're going to grab the point now. Oh, no, they're not. The heroes have stayed on the point, thankfully. There's 2 heroes stayed on the point from Turkey.
And those Onas ignored the heroes on the point, which was a mistake, because those heroes actually just CC'd those Onas. They could have had a great flank last game.
We could have, but it's that is game. The hero, them IPG march is just wiped.
Insanely clean. Yeah, the double IPG march, just too much.
And once you follow up with your Reapers as well, just the units were gone. That was it. That was the push done. 63 units left, one of which is the Orochi that he couldn't use. 30 units really at the end of it, with 376 on the defender side. Turkey picking up a valiant, easy enough win there by the looks of it. Few big mistakes, I think, from the attacker side, like the position in which they're fighting.
Not even just bringing the wrong unit, but they just didn't look like they looked last week, or 2 weeks ago. No, it was last week.
Yeah,
they looked so they looked so well organized last week, and they did not look organized at all in that fight.
Myron picking up the MVP for the attackers. 3 hero kills, 86 unit kills. Good amount of damage. 30 unit Dagger-Axe Lancers. That must have been their IPG march that killed the Cav that came in first of all in the supply point. But for the most part, hero-wise, there wasn't many kills for the attackers. And obviously, unit-wise, they literally just got destroyed on the unit fights. Turkey. Flare Star picking up 6 hero kills. 3 hero kills for Bunin Kage, and then Brave Kagan with 2, Sexy Kebab 3, and everybody else grabbing 1 on the defender side. It was a very strong defense, because literally countered everything. There wasn't any way in which the attackers looked like they were going to get, apart from getting their 4 heroes on the point once everybody was re-establishing their units.
I don't even know how much I can credit Turkey with that defense. I mean, they played it correctly, but there are so many mistakes by the attacking team. We saw Impike walks just like without the team behind them. We saw them fighting in positions that they shouldn't have been fighting in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've very much question what the attacking plan was. I had no doubt what their plan was last week, and I had no idea what they were doing in that fight.
Yeah, it was a strange one for me. I didn't fighting down the stairs to that supply point. Obviously, they already capped the supply point.
And
but at that point,
they had the supply.
Yeah. Why fight at it?
Why are you on the stairs? They already gave you the supply.
It was strange. It was strange. Must be a reasoning behind what they were trying to do, I assume, but it didn't seem to be that way for it. On the attack, though, this time around, you're going to have Turkey to attack this time around. Maybe the rest of the world are going to have something up their sleeves here for defending it. They did do a very good defense on the last time round, but they're going to have to do something.
Is that the secret?
That must be. They never got to use it last time, or nobody that saved it actually.
Yeah,
used it.
Didn't even bring it. So maybe that's instincts. Supposed to be his unit instead of the Orochi. I don't know.
Maybe that's what it was. He forgot what one he was changing to and didn't change it over. But I better get myself in this lobby before the next match. I forget all about it. Getting carried away. This one thing that they need to establish here, I think, if they're going to be doing more tournaments like so, is have like a full setup here where you can go to a custom lobby and just make a custom tournament and make battle after battle, so it's already set. That
would be nice.
That's the next thing they need to do.
Or just put you back in the lobby. Yeah.
Oh yeah, just put you back into the lobby to defend another fight. Yeah, with no resets or lobbies.
Game does it.
No chance. You never know.
Yeah,
it would be good. It would be an easier way of doing it.
That's one of those weird things that every game seems to reinvent the wheel on, is their lobby system. Come on. Yeah. We've been doing this for 30 years now. I think we can figure out how to make a multiplayer lobby.
Yeah, it would be. I think it's this extra bit of how much bronze is it that we have to sacrifice here to make a new lobby every single time?
10,000, which isn't much, but
it's not much in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, if you could just do that, set it up.
There are some people who don't have bronze.
Especially when these are community lobbies. Not everybody's going to have them, are they? It's like these are going to have to be made, and you're going to have to discuss it with some people. Obviously, if you're playing enough and you're scrimming a lot and not playing the game, but just still doing the tournament side of things, you might not actually have as much bronze. But
I get why they do it, because if it was free, it
would just be a
server resources, so there would be nothing stopping like bots or whatever from just spamming like lobbies just because they felt like it. But
yeah, that is very true. That is very true. We don't want that because it's enough as it is sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's see, it's just going to show the rest of the world's team. No, it's not. I'm going to have to manually click that there to show the rest of the world's team on screen there as well. Just about any of you guys that weren't sure who was on the team. It's a mixture of everybody pretty much from different places around the world. Because these are the guys that still wanted to take part in the tournament in some way or form if they could, and if they were selected, they would then be taking part of the rest of the World squad. So considering, you've got to remember, these guys from all these different places are obviously trying to work together, and probably never used to playing together, a lot of them as well, so it doesn't make it easy, but it's also not going to be as solid as a squad as the Turkish team you'd expect, because their synergy and they're used to playing together. If it's all the same language and they're all speaking the same language, it's probably a lot easier. Some people aren't as strong just speaking the one language, if it's English per se, and some of them maybe not be as strong with it. So it does make it difficult for the rest of the World squad, trying to get themselves arranged in time zones and stuff for planning any like defenses and fights and scrims and stuff. Might be a bit more difficult, but they've been doing quite a good job of it so far. They did get a good win the last time round. They're obviously only 1-0 down here against Turkey, but they do have a chance. They still have to have their chance on the defense, and if they do just as good a job as Turkey did there, they could have themselves another point to their board here, and hopefully go on to the death matches, and we'll have a close fight. But we'll see what the rest of the world have in for this fight. It's the solid defense. There's going to be a mixture of units that they're actually allowed to use this time, I hope. Then we don't see Kagan picking up the Orochi once they get in by mistake, and but we're so far so good.
Okay,
It
he's got
looks.
the jabs this time.
Yeah, he's got his jabs out. Yeah, that's good. Good to see. There's plenty of Iron Reapers again. No further defense. We've seen how devastating they were for the Turkish side, following up from them IPG marches. So IPGs, I love IPGs. There's something about IPGs I've always loved, and I'm glad they're getting a little bit more usage again.
Yeah, they feel great right now. They don't feel too strong, but they feel.
They're not disgustingly
They feel like they do what they're
overpowered.
supposed to do. I really like the way the reset mechanic works. It's not even what you kill with the walk; it's what you kill after the walk with the new ability that they added.
I've still never really used that ability well enough yet.
Yeah, makes it very. It makes the reset part very skill based.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about the second part as well, like how to use it as well and when to use it. Like I'm literally marching and then I'm too busy distracted by something else because the unit's marching. I'm like, but to use, is that only available during the march or is that available after the march is finished?
It's only available during the march. So you have to make sure you use it before the march ends, and you have to make sure you don't kill everything with the march. You want to kill it with that ability to get the reset. So it's I think this is my favorite iteration of the IPGs because there have been times where it just felt like they were too good because all they had to do was press one button, but now they're great if you're good with them. So
yeah, timing is key always. So yeah, it's good to know that. Then I'll probably get using them a lot more as well myself because I do like them as a unit, and I think they do a great job in terms of what they're supposed to do.
That walk will one shot a Reaper charge, which is very interesting right now because we're seeing a lot of Reapers.
Yeah, definitely. I remember when at one point there was a bug against, like, Iron Reapers were so strong at one point they were like pretty much wiping everything, and the only thing that would wipe them was IPGs. And it was to the stage where if you marched to Iron Reapers, Iron Reapers were just insta dead. There was not even like you didn't see them marching over them. It's just it touched the first Iron Reaper and they were gone. You were like,
if you charge Reapers in, that is exactly what happens. Still, if you walk them as
at least charge, obviously when they're charging, but this whole time was a bug. But it's such a good thing. Iron Reapers used to be so devastating as well. They were they had their time in the meta as well where they were constantly used, and they're starting to get back to there. Their buffs have been very good for it, and it's kind of balancing the game out a little bit more. Like it does slowly start happening where you start getting balance. There's obviously always that one unit that's super OP.
Yeah,
and everybody like complains about.
This is it. This is the like golden age of the meta almost. This might be where we're at right now. Might be one of the best we've ever had.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's definitely like when you start shifting a little bit more infantry wise as well, and you're getting enough more usage of infantry, it's always good to see because the balance needs to be there. Like if you just have cap spam matches, they got too repetitive, they got too boring, and we just stopped playing because of it. But yeah, looks like rest of the world are the ones to not defend the A point here, which is very interesting. Like we were mentioning this will happen, but
again, I just don't understand the not bringing the Shenjis because you can put your Shenjis on home and just throw at the attackers as they're setting up their push and just send them straight back to supply. Like
they don't even have any, like none at all. They've got Junkroot, Cinetic have Senji Grenadiers. They just don't have them out.
Oh,
not yet. So they have them in the warband.
I missed that in the pre-match. I was looking at.
So they have them there, but they're just not using them yet. Yeah. Too busy looking at if Instinct going to pick up the right unit or not, but he did. But they do have them, so they will be getting used at some point here. And I assume that's why they saved them was for their defense. I assume.
Yeah.
That makes sense, to be honest. Sexy Q is picked up by No Trick. Where was Sexy Q there?
Surprise Treb. He died on the Treb spot. It just slammed those impikes.
That makes sense. Yep. He was committing himself for that.
Like 6 models. Yeah. You got 5 of them. Not the best, but hey, we'll take it, I guess.
Yeah, 5 models is better than no models. Sometimes it feels like it takes that long.
Yeah, I mean, if you only have to attack home, then you don't necessarily need all 8 Trebs. You just get some value down. Come back later.
Almost half the players are Maul, was shockingly low number.
Yeah. Definitely see a lot of Maul in this tournament. Part of that's because ISGs are... That's one of the only heroes that can kill ISGs. This might be the only hero that can kill ISGs.
Yeah.
But even then, it's good for diving specialty and just a good all-around class. There are a lot of viable builds for Maul. I think Maul and maybe Nodachi, but obviously Nodachi's not great. are like the only classes.
It's a full hero push here from Turkey, though. They're going to use that to get trebs in here, keep the units moving around into that treb potentially, and they're actually going to cap the point here because everybody's focused on the hero points. They're going to start capping for free without pushing.
I thought it was smart that when I missed that they had Shenji, it's because they didn't have the Shenji out, and I thought that was smart that they didn't have them out because they can't get dove when they're not out. But then they walk them right on the point.
Pick up the free hero kills. Yeah,
they lost 8 Shenji there.
That's interesting. That was a very interesting. Like the Turkish are very clever with that. They'll know that their specialist is out. They'll go out in there and they'll go and try and find them.
The second
try and
they
pick
saw
them
that
off as quickly as possible.
Because if you're
Junkrat, he's still got him out. Do you keep the 7 or do you swap over and Cinetic comes out with his? For them, his to get jumped? Yeah, I mean, what do you do
7
there?
Shenji later in the match are completely useless, but so
early on,
if you're going to use them, you use them now.
Again,
but
you never know. Yeah, you don't want to get them. You don't want to get your full setup dived again.
If he had Cav, I'd say you just bring the Shenji back and do it. If he goes to has to pull Reapers, that's a really long trip back. Looks like he's already swapping off the Shenji. He's bringing them back to spawn. Yep.
Yeah.
Or is he just hiding them?
Maybe he's just hiding them.
Maybe he's learned his lesson.
Background, maybe. Yep. You realise that was.
Here you come.
But it kind of works in both their favours, Dave, to be honest. They kind of wiped half of the specialist unit, but at the same time, lost a few hero kills to it. But luckily, there's respawns in this one. It's just the respawn timer will be a bit higher.
If you still had to take A, I'd be worried about that, but they don't have to take A, so those death timers don't really mean as much. They've got 12 minutes.
It just means more once they start getting near the end if they've died a couple of times, but first death isn't a big deal.
Yeah, it's your first death, so I think at this point, you're fine with it.
IPG match stop the stairs as a Palace Guard came up there though, and Javelins came in as well, so that's literally giving them free real estate there. But the Palace Guards from the defenders kind of got to the top of the stairs.
Defenders were not ready for this at all. Honestly, I wasn't expecting them to push up this fast.
I wasn't expecting it. Arachi's coming in here as well to clear up these Palace Guards, but IPG Marches comes in one against each other here, attack versus defense. But there's a good Cav charge coming in the back. Is that going to help? Is that going to get any of the units on the stairs? Oh, that is quite a good stop there. A couple of heroes dead.
I mean, it's over. The Shenjis didn't even throw until just now.
That's the Senji's getting picked off as well by the Polacks here. The heroes are dying. They're down to 5 heroes alive.
Slaughter.
That was so quick. Like, I couldn't even react to it myself. Junkrat's fall to his death. There's only 2 heroes left on the point. You've got Prophetic as a longsword and No Trick as a maul here, trying to survive it. But it looks like the Turkish will just clear them up now. That's No Trick down. Prophetic will fall down, and it'll be a free cap here at this point. I don't think the defenders can even get back in because their spawn's pretty much blocked on one side.
That just looks like the same thing as the attack, where you see the defenders, instead of fighting as a team, they fought one at a time. That you saw the Palace Guards on the defense just charge in, and after half the fight was over, you see 2 of the defenders show up from the back stairs. They missed the entire fight. Yep,
that's it. Dagger Axe Lancers coming in, but they're going to get intercepted by the other set of Dagger Axes and then wiped off by the Fort of Brasho that's on the point, and that's it. This is going to be a delay tactic here so far for the rest of the world to try and survive this, but I don't think they've got the time to just keep chucking themselves in here to stop the point. They have to wipe the point, and it doesn't look it's going that way. Turkey got all the Cav coming in across both sides here, and that's just going to be picking off heroes.
Yeah, as long as the defenders keep picking heroes, they'll be okay. But the attackers keep picking heroes. The defenders have got all their units there though. They spawn way closer. So I think this might be a reset and go again. But I think
it looks like they're going to have to. They're not the heroes on the point here. The units are falling to their deaths, but it's a very difficult decision to just defend home. I feel like the rest of the world here is keeping themselves at a bigger disadvantage here. It's really difficult and really quick to get onto the point there, as you've seen Turkey just getting straight up the stairwell really quickly. The Javelin tried to throw for the defenders, but it wasn't really doing much to the unit because it was a set of Palace Guards that came up through the front and then just braced ready to take on everything that was coming at them.
I think the attackers just came into, like, they saw there was nothing there. They came up straight up. And the defenders were not ready to react that fast, and they just didn't. They kept 2 of the defenders on the back stairs until the fight was basically over.
I think that's what the difference is when you full commits to something like that, like Turkey do. You're definitely going to gain an advantage because half the other units were still on the other side of the wall, expecting people to come up from behind them, which they were going to do that, but they didn't do it at the time that they were already pushed up. They waited a few more seconds once that unit started to rotate because they realised they were losing the fight on the main stairwell. And then eventually the Cav came in from the behind, cleared up the point, picked off some heroes, and then the Turkey are going to do it again.
They're going to they see the Shenji out? They're going for him?
Yep, Senji's on the home point here. They're going to get a treb on that point as well, and that's going to wipe so much of the units there, because every unit of the defense is on the home point here at this point, bar that one IPGs, and Iron Reapers are charging on home point now.
One
but
Shenji model left, it looks like. Two models. That's rough.
That's it. Okay, so that's as well.
Probably our last hero dive of the game now, and they'll just send all their units away. See, this is smart. All the units that are left, the defenders can't get to them because they're already too far away. This is how you do it, and this is a strategy that a lot of teams don't like in tournaments because it feels very cheesy. But it's not that hard to protect your specialty units. You put them in a safe place.
This is why they're saying people don't use Senjis on this map because of that.
Hey, you put your specialty in a safe place. You put an anti-hero unit next to them. You definitely don't have to lose them in the open, that visible. Much for you in these. But I do understand why people don't like it.
I think that positioning of them that last time round was probably the worst position they had them in. Like, it's
right on the middle of home. Yeah,
there's all the heroes and all the units were pretty much on home. It's like it's the biggest trap point you could hit, and you just got everybody on that unit.
I know I play Flames on this map a lot on defense, like in TWs and stuff, and it's a lot easier than you think to protect them. You just have to move them behind that fountain. If you're worried about the enemy team pushing, if the enemy seems nowhere close to pushing, you're in a safe zone. It's
this is
that was a big mistake
coming up from the main stairway here for Turkey now, and then the rest of the world's going to have to try and react to this as quickly as possible, not give them that much room up the top of the stairs. But the Medal are already at the top. There goes
the Palace Guard's already braced.
Too early, I think.
Where's the Impact Walk?
Clear them up.
The Impact Walk could have stopped the Reaper charge, but he didn't. He walked away and left the Palace Guard.
This is going to be horrendous for the rest of the world, I think. Here, I think everything became a little bit too late there. IPG might should have cleared that up, but doesn't.
The attack. This is already over. They already wiped them.
That's it. Units are all wiped. So there's only heroes left at this point. 2 seconds and we're in.
Insane.
4 heroes left on the fight. Kagan's gave up already. He's left the battle. He knows he's got the win here, and the heroes are just going to pick off no trick.
That was so clean by the attackers. I mean, the defenders, like I said, they just keep the rest of the world just is not playing like a team here at all.
No,
Palace Guards going way too early, and then the Impikes don't counter the Reaper charge. You're going to lose instantly to that.
Yeah, the one thing they can beat the Palace Guards that we said earlier was the Iron Reapers. The Iron Reapers comes up, clears that, and the only thing they can beat the Iron Reapers in that point in time is an IPG march, and they did have them on the defense, didn't use them at the right time. They were about 3 seconds too late, and then by that time everybody else came in. The Iron Reapers for the attackers and the IPG march also came out to counter.
The attackers did IPG walk the defender Iron Reaper charge. Defenders charged in as the walk was going, and it insta-killed. They were gone. I didn't even see what happened.
Honestly, it was like a second to react to it, and they managed to react to every single thing that was going on their attack there, didn't they? They just switched on really quickly. Realised that's the charge now. I'll use my IPG now instead of using it too early, like the Palace Guards. There was a second set of Palace Guards that came in from the defenders, but they were already fully involved and engrossed. By the time they got into brace, it was a bit too late as well. They were pretty much already half wiped before they got the brace on. But you've got Darbell picking up the 6 hero kills here, 5 for Flare Star, Sex Kebab MVP, doing some work there. Good stuff from the Turkish side. Very strong fight. It looks like this could be heading towards a 3-0, but you never know. Can the rest of the world win here in a deathmatch? Because they do normally have more medium armor classes, as you can see, even in these battles. Muskets and pike players. A lot of them might stay or might go to a heavy armor, maybe. We'll see. But if they keep the kind of same strategies as this, they definitely don't win in a death match. But
yeah, I don't think this is going to be like the France versus Benelux match, where Benelux, I think they made some mistakes from the shot caller side, but I don't think they made a lot of player mistakes. This is just so disorganized from the rest of the world. I don't see how you win a death match when your problem is your organization. of like your communication between individual players. If you've got individual people doing one thing while 3 other people are doing something else, you're not going to win a deathmatch.
Yeah, I agree there. It's going to be like an uphill battle straight away.
Yeah.
The Turkish have looked very strong though, to be fair, and they are probably one of the best sides in the game. Well, in the tournament. So it's not like it's an easy team to be coming up against, either attack or defense, because they're very organized.
Yeah. I mean I think if Rest of the World plays this deathmatch like they were playing last week, then very winnable. But I don't know if I didn't check the player list this week versus last week, but it's a very different vibe I'm getting from their team.
Yeah, definitely is a different. I think they were kind of similar vibes, like player wise and stuff. Like they're Myron was always up there with a musket, and I think they kind of helped them in their death matches. Very strong as a musket player. She was managing to pick off a lot of players and keep them kind of preoccupied. But against the likes of the Turkish side, they definitely use a lot more heavy armor classes. They've got their a good set of mauls in there as well. So I don't think it's going to be easy if they pick medium armor classes. So the wife came in there and like the cat was sitting in one of these like open drawers and sort of my units, but I didn't realize she was in there. And she looked in, and then the head just pops out of the drawer. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing in there? Silly cat. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Hopefully, we can see. I want to see a field battle, but I don't think we're gonna get to see one today as well. The way things are going, but I don't think we'll see it here on Walfort for this defense. But hopefully, we can see some good fights in the death match. It's going to be about picking off the right heroes and the right classes at the right time. We definitely know that the Turkish side have got a solid setup here in terms of unit classes, hero class choice. So we'll see how that works. We're looking at the map here. Obviously, it's Walfort, guys. It's always the same thing. Walfort fight. Hopefully, the team do what they didn't do the last, where they cap A and B, so they gives you your time. But all in all, so far it's heading towards a 3-0 victory in my eyes here for the Turkish side, unless something the rest of the world can pull out here for the battle.
Yep.
Chinese, please. Said we're organising Chinese food. I love Chinese.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. It's just like, Chinese, Indian food, which one? I'm like, Chinese. Still put a whisper in front of a mic. Oh, he did it. Oh, she's even sent us a video because the wee man's decided to roll himself as well, roll over, and I missed it. Damn stream, what are you doing to me? Yeah, so chat, let's see, what do you think's going to happen here? Rest of the world versus Turkey. Who's the sides on the
rest of the world is looking a little squishy.
It does.
Two muskets and a pike.
Two muskets, a pike. It's going to be a rough fight. Junkroot and Mylan are great muskets, but it's very difficult in a kind of 8v8 deathmatch.
With horses allowed, it's very hard to take the runaway strategy.
Yeah.
You could in theory like get a pick, run away, if horses weren't allowed. But we're allowing horses in this, so you pretty much have to commit to fighting, and I don't think you can do that effectively when you've got two muskets and a pike, but we'll see.
Yeah, there's a lot of skating around and trying to avoid like damage and stuff as a musket. A lot of players are really good at it, and they can obviously like dart back and get out of the way, but there's only so much of it you could do. And if you're not dealing enough damage compared to what the damage the defenders are, they can take a lot more because they're all heavy armor classes.
They're actually going to have to focus on using those muskets for disengage.
It's funny though as well, like the Turkish side, even though they're at the advantage, they've got an extra player already just in case it goes to an extra fight here. There's also a longsword in there as well, so whether the longsword starts the fight or maybe he's just getting a chance to get involved in case.
A Brave swapped to a Glaive last second too. It's an interesting choice. Not really. I played a bunch of Glaive a week or so ago, and it's basically just what we're small. There's really no reason.
So in chat, they're asking about getting a doctrine breakdown on the IPG. Sadly, we don't have information like that. Otherwise, we'd love to know. Also, about it being a tournament, I'm pretty sure they're not going to give it away to you to tell them exactly how their units were saying, like Bet says there. We would love to see it all. I think we could see it some way, can't you?
Maybe what tournament ends, we'll get the trade secrets.
Yeah,
in an
interview.
I doubt
it very much, but you never know. They've got to win it somehow. Never mind, wasn't it even that big who wiped?
I asked Dunkel what they were running on their IPGs earlier because I was curious. I wanted to be able to talk about it during the match, but he did not respond. So they're keeping it a secret. I think a lot of teams are running Sprint. I don't know if you'd run Sprint on Empyrean Sands, but I know some people have been running Sprint.
I normally have a Sprint on my IPG.
I'm greedy. I don't, but
I do. I just think they're too slow otherwise. Yeah, I find them like, cause even to get there quickly enough, like if it's a rotation that you're doing quite quickly and you realize that you're caught out, it's a good way of getting yourself back into the cluster of units to get your unit off. If you see a cav charge, for example, come into the rest of your team, it can counter it. But it is something that you can use extra. But there's not really much damage stuff or stuff that you add to the IPGs anyway. Like,
you'd be surprised. I wish I could run 8 doctrines on mine easily, maybe 10. But here we go.
Yes, that's true. Here we go. We're
underway. Short swords on Turkey now. I'd missed when they swapped to the second. Oh, he swapped off a glaive to the second short sword.
Interesting.
Okay.
Swapping up a little bit, but no heroes killed here. But a couple of heroes are running around without a horse now, so this is going to get to the stage where we're going to start seeing more fights. Kagan's down on the ground as well here. Short swords throwing their shields as much as possible here, and a few mauls trying to get the spins in. But
they're jumping Traves now.
Sexy Kawaba's Traves down as well, yep. Sexy Kawaba got jumped on, but he managed to survive and get out there for a second. Sin Void falls to his death as well. It looks like Sexy Kebab squad is going to go on to win here, but there is one Turkish player picked off. Sexy Q gets picked off by Synetic.
Prophetic's looking in trouble here. Prophetic's 1 HP. He's running away.
Oh, he's going to get...
You have your heal, man.
Oh, man, he's down. That's it. We're almost there. 4 heroes left, sorry. Myron's going to have to try in here to survive. Jumps out the back, but Junkrat's picked off. Synetics, a medium armor class that's alive. And it's the last one alive as well. Against all of them.
He's been running away this whole time, waiting for his next ult.
There we go. Look at that. And good bit in here from Synetic, but he's now collected. Everybody leaves. There we go. The Turkish side pick up a 3-0 win. I won't say it's easy because we don't like to gloat too much, but I'm sure they're probably thinking that in their heads, thinking easy GG.
Full heavy armor. Heavy armor strong, man.
So dominating in comparison, isn't it? When it's like an 8v8 sort of scenario, you literally have nothing else.
I mean, you can 15v15. I just don't see a reason to bring medium other than musket.
Nope, exactly.
Maybe I guess, but
a pike can be